Welcome back to Gartland Field on the campus of Marist University in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's Game 5 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. It's the 4th seed, the Sacred Heart Pioneers, against the top seed making their debut in the championship, the Marist Red Foxes. I'm Mike Ferraro along with Caroline Barata. What a day it's been. If you like runs, Gartland Field's been your place to be. Caroline, we've had some great games here so far today.
We really have. We've had a lot of hitting here today, right, Mike?
Yeah, we certainly have. Look at that. 10 runs scored by each of the last two winners. Anna Sidlowski in the circle for the Red Foxes. You see Anna's numbers, the 9-5 record, those last 9 wins, they've been consecutive. She has won 9 straight decisions.
Yeah, Anna's a very experienced pitcher, being a junior, about to go on to her senior year. She knows how to control the circle.
Anna Sidlowski this season in conference play, 8-0 record with a 2.36 ERA. You see the Sacred Heart lineup. Ella Crone, oh my, did she do some damage against Quinnipiac in the first game today? She never got out. It was hard contact every time.
Yeah, she really barreled the ball up against Quinnipiac, who had a great pitching staff that game too.
Ella Crone, Anna Sidlowski, it's game on for the #1 seed in the championship. And Sidlowski's first offering at 6 p.m. is a ball. Caroline, we have to talk about the elephant in the room here. It is really Marist versus Sacred Heart versus darkness in this one. The sun goes down at 8 o'clock tonight in Poughkeepsie, but if it goes down over those mountains, it might be a little tough to see. We'll see how much we can move this one along. LaCrone, right side, that's a foul ball.
Yeah, Mike, like you were saying, this might be the first evening game I've been a part of here at Gartland Field.
You played a few games here before?
Just a few.
217 all consecutive. It'll be LaCrone, Sierra Bender, and then Ella Stoops. LaCrone, the Sacred Heart first baseman, a second-team All-MAAC selection. Sidlowski's 1-1. Just misses in.
That's a good spot from Sidlowski. That's a tough pitch to lay off. She's really going to have to bring the ball up in the zone a little bit. Doesn't really look like he's giving her much down low.
Marist this season, they've gotten some good results, especially in conference play, from Sidlowski, Ava Metzger, and Stella Blanchard. 2-1 is skied right side now to play. So what you might see a lot of out of Joe Asanio is who's done well against a particular team. Sidlowski came in relief in both games against Sacred Heart in the regular season, and she did not allow a run in either contest. These teams faced each other exactly 1 month ago today. The 2-2 to LaCrone. Up the middle, it gets through for a base hit. Geez, LaCrone, stay hot. 5 for 5 in this championship.
It's important for Sacred Heart to get that leadoff runner on.
We'll get another look. LaCrone's not trying to do too much with it. So you look at Anna Sidlowski's numbers, and for the season, her ERA is over 5. But in conference play, it's under 2.5. Bender takes ball 1. Anna Sidlowski throws a drop ball. So while she can strike out hitters, the numbers usually aren't very high. She is going to be highly dependent on her infield defense to turn ground balls into outs. They have done a much better job at that the second half of the year. Bender with the bunt. It is fielded by Kunze, throw to first, and it is, no, it's not in time. Livia Wiltsey was covering the bag. There was a little bit of hesitation on that play, and it's Bender getting down the line at Sacred Heart as first and second with none out here. Let's get another look. 3 Red Foxes went to the ball.
Looks like there's a little bit of miscommunication between Sidlowski and Kunze.
That is going to be ruled a bunt single. So the Pioneers with some early traffic here for Ella Stoops, the third baseman. And she's ahead in the count. A ball and no strikes. Stoops a hot hitter as of late. Had a couple of big hits this morning against Quinnipiac. That was a whale of a game. That one misses low. This Sacred Heart dugout is vocal. They had some time to rest after the morning game against Quinnipiac, and they're ready to go. Sacred Heart and Marist, two of the best stories in this conference this year. Sedlowski's 2-0. Is a called strike. Our umpires, Brandon Hibbler is calling balls and strikes. Brian Sonak is at first, Laura Nesteriak is at second, and Michael Binder is at third. William Rosen. Hi, William. He will be on the sideline. He'll have interviews throughout. Here's the 2-1. Grounded to third. That's off Kunzi's glove. She'll go to first in time for out number 1. At that point, after Kunzi was not quite able to corral it on the first effort, she only had one play, but she gets the out at first.
That was a smart play by Kunzi. She stopped it as she should. It was a hard contact. She stopped it like she should. She could have gone to third, but I think the smarter play was to go to first there.
She might not have even had a play at third. Haley R. was not going to beat LaCrone to the bag. Second a possibility, first base was the sure out. She took that. Here's Charlene Davis, the Sacred Heart senior catcher, and she's a powerful bat in this cleanup spot. Here comes the 1-0. And that's a strike, evening the count at a ball and a strike. LaCrone led off with a single, then Bender with the bunt single. Second and third, one out. Can Sedlowski get out of this one? One drive caught by Kunzi at third for the second out. So a big second out, but Sedlowski now has to contend with Alexa Barbera. Let's get another look. And that ball got on Kunzi quick, and her reflexes were on point.
Davis hit that ball on the screws, and Kunzi was just in the right place at the right time.
Here's Barbera. Ground ball, that's wide at first. Lily Ramelis playing first base for the Red Fox today, saying the Marist defense is Sienna Kunzi at third, Haley R at short, Livia Wiltsey at second, Lily Ramelis at first. She is split time at first with Annabelle Geiser, who's in left in this one. Center field, as always, patrolled by Peyton Pusey. Sam Rogers, a great arm in right. Here comes the 0-1. Called strike 2. Alexa Barbera had a triple in the 6th inning that started some chaos for Sacred Heart. Can she get a big hit here on 0-2? That's grounded left side, fielded by Kunzi. Throw to first, Ramelis with the snow cone for the out. Holy cow, Lily Ramelis with the stretch and the snow cone, and the Red Foxes escaped the first and second with no out jam. It's Sacred Heart 0, Marist coming to bat. Looking at Emily Campion, who got the save, the first of her collegiate career against Quinnipiac this morning. You see Campion's numbers, and each member of this Sacred Heart pitching staff really had to move up a spot after the injury to Sam Kowalski, who last pitched a month ago today right here at Marist. Head coach Pam London said about Campion, hey, you're going to get into situations, you have to figure them out. And sometimes that's just what you have to do. And she, as a first year, has risen to the challenge in MAAC play.
Yeah, Sacred Heart's pitching staff really stepped it up at the end of the year. They really had to. They didn't have a choice.
Sacred Heart As you see the Marist lineup here, Peyton Pusey, the MAAC Player of the Year, starts off, followed by the catcher Bella Mannery, then the shortstop Haley R., the MAAC's all-time leader in hits, some power bats, and then the next-gen part of the Marist lineup at the bottom. Pusey has had an unbelievable season, particularly MAAC play. She lays down a bunt, and it's foul. She'll do that.
Peyton's a 5-tool player. She's got speed, she's got power. She can field, she can throw. What am I missing, Mike?
Well, she can kind of run a little bit too.
Yeah.
and this is the Peyton Pusey experience in the leadoff spot. She certainly has pop. She can lay down a bunt. She can work a count. She can do it all for the Red Foxes, and she pretty much has this season. That's lined up the middle. Fielded there by Bender. Throw to first, not in time. Pusey beats it down the line. Well, we talked about the speed, right?
We did, Mike. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard. It doesn't look like it. It looked like it had a few weird hops, but Pusey beats it down the line.
Now, there was some English on that. I think Bender skidded a little bit on the throw, too. But in a split-second situation, you don't really have a split second against Peyton Pusey. Now, the Red Foxes have not run an inordinate amount this year. Pusey does have 11 stolen bases. Bella Mannery has moved into the 2-hole over the last week. She can do a lot there. She's swinging this time. That's a foul tip, as Pusey was taking off after the ball got away, but she'll have to go back to first. Bella Mannery can work counts. She can lay down bunts. She's laid down, as a matter of fact, one of the most famous ones in this program's history in the game in Canisius, the winner's bracket final in 2023 that set Marist the championship round. Have we mentioned she has some pop as well? This time she squares around. It's a fair ball. It's fielded by Campion. Throw to first in time. Score at 1-4. Successful sacrifice. Pusey into scoring position.
Just like you called, Mike, laying down a bunt, putting Pusey in scoring position. That's what Bella does best, really.
And now you go to Haley R. in the number 3 hole. Haley R. enters this contest tied for first all-time in program history in RBIs with 200, and that was just a perfect sacrifice by Mannery, doing her job, getting Pusey to second. Haley R., Marist's all-time leader in hits. Marist's all-time leader in batting average. Marist's all-time leader in doubles. With one more RBI, she'll hold that record too. She has a chance here with Pusey at second. Here's Campion's 1-0. And that one is in the dirt, and Pusey will trot over to third. So now for Haley R., can she get the runner in from third with less than 2 outs? Sienna Kunze awaits on deck, and what a year for Sienna Kunze. Haley R., 4-time first-team All-MAAC selection. Only 2 other players in program history have done that, and I'm standing right next to one of them. Ground ball, that is wide of third. The list of 4-time first-team All-MAAC selections at Marist in softball. Haley R., Caroline Barada, Amanda Koljeski. Campion's 2-1. That's in the air, center field. Going back, making the catch is Bender. Pusey's still tagging. Here comes the throw. She's safe at the plate. Marist with a 1-0 lead. And with that sacrifice fly, Haley R., Marist's all-time leader in RBIs.
That ball wasn't fairly deep. I think thanks to Pusey's speed and the way Sacred Heart's second baseman was twisted around there, she got a good jump off third base.
And when the ball took off the bat, I thought that was going to be Freed's ball, but Bender going out there, she made the catch, but you wonder if it was Freed, one, would she have gotten there? But if she got there with momentum, is she in a better spot to make the throw? So credit Bender for making a nice play, but having to turn and spin against the speedy Pusey is a tall order. And Marist is up 1-0. And congratulations to Haley R., another well-deserved record. Sienna Kunze this season has 12 home runs. 11 of them were hit in MAAC play. No one hit more in the conference. Ground ball to third, fielded by Stoops, fires across, and that'll do it for Marist in the bottom of the first. But not before the Red Foxes get on the board. Pusey infield single. To second on a bunt, to third on a wild pitch, and in on Haley Yar's fly ball. 1-0 after 1. All 3 outs were hit to her.
Right. I mean, Sacred Heart's lineup is a bunch of righties, too, so that left side's going to get a lot of action.
Seem to remember about a year ago, look at that beach ball in the dugout. I can't even keep a straight face right now. That in this championship last year, remember all the action Ronnie Howard got at third base, and for the Red Foxes, it might be a similar course of action as the count is now 2-1. Once Sidlowski pitches, the infielders will get work. She is the only Marist pitcher who generates more ground ball outs than fly ball outs, and it's by a wide margin as well. About a 2.5 to 1 margin. Called strike on the outer half, and the count's even at 2-2.
I think Sacred Heart's approach against Sidlowski has been interesting so far. They've taken her pretty deep into counts.
Here's the 2-2. That's skied, deep right field. Sam Rogers back, and she makes the catch a few feet in front of the wall for out number 1. Well, we mentioned all the ground outs. Henke put that one deep into the air, but came up just a little short. So now this is the designated player, Catherine Hodel. Hodel did not start in the game this morning. She is a .261 hitter, has 5 RBIs, and she fouls that one off herself. The winner of this game will face Iona in the winner's bracket final. And the Gales look really, really good right now.
Yeah, they put on an offensive clinic against Fairfield.
Count even at 1-1. Iona won the first game of this championship, which was contested over 2 days against Siena. That one was a pitcher's duel. They got out of that one 3-1. They didn't have a hit through 3 innings against Alyssa Weinberg, and then scored 7 in the 4th and 3 in the 5th. 1-1. Line foul, left side. Good crowd down that third base line. Saw it walking in just before first pitch here. A lot of people coming out on the Marist campus, and that's a great shot by our crew right there.
When I was walking down, I think a lot of the Marist baseball players were here.
Saw head coach Lance Ratchford with his family as well. The 1-2. We'll do it again. And again, the Sacred Heart here is not trying to do too much against Sidlowski. Just stay alive, get one you like, and then see what you can do with it. The 1-2. We'll do it again. Marist president Kevin Weinman is here. And in a short time here, he has grabbed 2 foul balls. Here's the 1-2 to Hodel. And that's in the dirt, 2-2. Kaylin Freed, the center fielder, awaits on deck. And if the Pioneers get any traffic, it's the left fielder, Jess Brown, hitting in the 9 spot. Two-two. The count is run full. Sidlowski has retired 4 in a row. That's Kevin Weinman with Executive Vice President Dr. Jeffrey Brackett there as well. Enjoying this one as the Red Foxes, a spectacular season, 24-3 in MAAC play. That ground ball is wide of third, and Pam London had to scoot out of the way of that one. Pam London played for the Pioneers. She knows a little bit about infield play, and more importantly, when you're coaching third, how to get out of the way of a hot shot.
Hodel's doing a great job of staying alive here, making Sidlowski really work.
Hodel has only struck out a couple of times this year in 23 at-bats, has a patient approach at the plate. And this at-bat keeps going.
Unfortunately, this is not helping our race against the sun here, Mike.
Oh, Caroline, you just took the words right out of my mouth. Sidlowski's payoff pitch. Ball 4. What an at-bat for Hodel. And she reaches with 1 out in the top of the second. And Joe Asanio will go out to the circle. So this will be head coach Joe Asanio along with the senior catcher Bella Mannery and Anna Sidlowski. The infielders having their own conference, the outfielders having their own conference. Sacred Heart having one as well with the base runner and the current batter, as Hodel will be at first. Kaylin Freed, the hitter. Sacred Heart, not a team that runs a ton. Freed had a hit and scored in the chaotic 6th inning against Quinnipiac earlier today. And a good center fielder as well. This Marist team this season, 24-3 in the MAAC, entering the championship with a 14-game winning streak. Last year's team also entered the MAAC championship with a 14-game winning streak. That team also won 19 in a row between March and early April last year. Sacred Heart, it was a tough ride in early April, but did the Pios ever bounce back? Here comes Sidlowski's 0-1. That's a line drive into the right center field gap. It gets down. Pusey cuts it off. Going to third, and safe is Hodel, and Freed gets up to second. Pusey has a great arm in center. Let's get another look. She made that play closer than I thought it was going to be. Wow. But with the throw going to third, Freed is able to get up to second. And indeed, that will be ruled a single and advance on the throw. So once again, the Pioneers second and third. This time with 1 out against the slapper Brown. So you have to watch a bunt potentially too. She has some speed in the 9-hole when she takes ball 1.
Yeah, you can see Coach Asanio moved his outfielders in quite a bit here, trying to cut down that run scoring from third.
Caroline, guess who's on deck?
5 for 5.
Mm-hmm. Two-0. If first base is open when LaCrone gets up, I wonder what she's going to see. If it isn't, it'll be interesting. Brown lines that one foul, count 2-1. Sacred Heart in early April had lost 6 in a row. The 2 games against Marist here, exactly 1 month ago today, were classics. 2-1. Cut on and miss, strike 2. Marist won both of those games on walk-off bunts. The first, a squeeze by Maya Salvo that brought in Livia Wiltsey. The second one, there was an error on the play that allowed the run to score from second. And, yep, those fans down the third base line, the baseball crew was here cheering on the Red Foxes as the 2-2 from Sidlowski misses, but not by much, and the count has run full. Sacred Heart has been patient in this game. The Pioneers got very little going against Sidlowski in both of her relief appearances in the regular season games, which we didn't mention. Those games went 9 innings and 10 innings as well. They've gotten traffic in both. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. And now the Red Foxes have a dilemma. The bases are loaded, and the hottest hitter in this championship, Ella Crone, is up, and there is no place to put her.
There's no place to put her, and there's only 1 out, so a sac fly also does the job for her.
If this at-bat ends in a sac fly, I think Marist would gladly take it right now. LaCrone, second-team All-MAAC selection, has not been retired in this championship, and Sidlowski misses up. It will be interesting to see exactly how much rope Sidlowski has. Joe Asanio has 3 pitchers he can roll through and feel good about it. They have Kaylee DeChickas and Emma Byer on the staff as well. But Sidlowski, along with Ava Metzger and Stella Blanchard, have done most of the work in MAAC play.
And it looks like
off the 1-0.
It looks like Metzger's making her way back from the bullpen, so she was probably getting loose a little bit.
We saw Metzger head down there a little bit before. These games have to be run with urgency at this point. Joe Asanio has a couple of options, but what will Sidlowski do in this at-bat against LaCrone, the 1-1? That's a tapper, first base, and it goes outside of Romelis and Wiltsey, and LaCrone reaches, and we're tied at 1. Romelis tried to backhand it. She couldn't come up with it. Wiltsey backing it up. She couldn't field it cleanly. We'll get another look. And it's a short hop, and Romelis couldn't get it. And then just a perfect spot by LaCrone. That is an infield single. LaCrone is 6 for 6 in this championship. Skied into right. Rogers couldn't see it. She comes in and throws quickly. Safe there. And the Pioneers have taken a 2-1 lead. Rogers was shielding her eyes. An RBI single by Sierra Bender. Was she shielding her eyes or was she deking?
I think she was trying to deke the runners there. I'm not sure if she thought she had it coming in and she didn't want to probably dive in that situation given the base runners on. But it looks like Coach Asanio is making an early change here.
And Sidlowski will come out. Ava Metzger gets the call. So we figured that Joe Asanio was going to run this game with some urgency. Sidlowski pitched out of a jam in the first inning. She got the first out in the second, but now the Pioneers have had 5 straight reach, and with 1 out in the second, the call goes to the bullpen to Ava Metzger, who pitched game 1 of Marist's first 9 MAAC series this year. The only reason she didn't pitch game 1 of the 10th one is she got the start on senior day against Siena. Metzger pitched in all 3 games of that series, and she's been a fantastic story, joining Marist as a grad transfer this year from Manhattan. She has battled through UCL and ACL injuries. The ACL suffered last year. She has pitched at the top of this rotation, and she has had some fantastic moments. On February 28th, she defeated South Carolina 2-1. It was the first time Marist defeated a ranked opponent in program history, and then she was just brilliant in the month of March. 25-plus innings without allowing an earned run. But the Pioneers, they have caught fire coming down the stretch. An emotional win this morning against Quinnipiac. They have 2 in already and threatening for more here in the top of the second.
And you know what, Mike? None of those balls were hit extremely hard. They just found holes. You know, in the 3-4 hole, right in front of the right fielder there, like, they weren't hit extremely hard.
No, but they've been getting the job done by whatever way possible, right? So now it's Stoops, who's swinging as hot of a bat as anybody in this lineup, well, except for one person, who's 6 for 6 in this championship now. But that one person is in a zone that, I think the next place that zone goes is Deep Space 9. 2-1 lead for Sacred Heart. Bases loaded, 1 away. Metzger ahead in the count, 0-1. Upstairs. Ava Metzger, Freehold, New Jersey, Colts Neck High School. Lifelong friend of Haley Yar. They've known each other. They've played with each other since their youth days. Made the transition to Marist a lot easier for Ava Metzger, and that was great for Haley Yar to have her lifelong friend play with her as well. Count now 2-1. If you hear some, I can't describe that sound really, clumping behind us perhaps, Stella Blanchard is now heading down to the Marist bullpen. Called strike, 2-2. Metzger needed that one.
Yeah, Metzger's more of an up pitcher as opposed to Anna, who's more of a down pitcher. So this will be a different look for Sacred Heart. But again, she's been going deep into counts too lately.
Brown at third, Lacrone at second, Bender at first. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball. And we have a collision there. That was a foul ball. But Kunze and Brown run into each other. I don't know how many times I've seen that. That's like the 3rd or 4th time that we've seen that type of a play. Runner at third, bouncing ball going down there. You can go all year without seeing something. Then you see it multiple times in one day. Let's get another look. And, well, the ball was foul, obviously. 2-2 upstairs, and the count has run full. In the game that Ava Metzger started against Sacred Heart on April 7th, Marist won it 4-3 in 9 innings. Metzger went 6 2/3, 5 hits allowed. She was charged with 3 runs, walked 2, struck out 4. Really cruised through the first 5 in that game. Payoff pitch. Up the middle, off Metzger, and into center field for a base hit. Sacred Heart leads 3-1 on an RBI single by Ella Stoops.
That was another great at-bat by Stoops. She took Metzger into a 3-2 count and just sent it right back up the middle.
I thought initially that got a piece of Metzger, but again, right back up through the box. We'll get another look.
It was close. I don't think it got her, though.
But 6 straight piles have reached, and now it's Davis. That's in the air. Pusey takes a couple of steps in. Now she'll throw back to third, and Lacrone gets back safely. Wow, Pusey almost made the play of the year right there, trying to get an out by any way possible, but a big out number 2 against a good hitter in Davis. But the Red Foxes are not out of the woods, as now it's Barbera. Sacred Heart has pushed 3 across already, but the bases are still loaded. Barbera, the 9th hitter in the inning. That one's pop foul. Here's Metzger's 0-1. Foul back, and Metzger way ahead here on 0-2. So that game Metzger pitched against Sacred Heart last month. Marist led 3-0. Olivia Wiltsey hit a 3-run homer in the bottom of the first, and that's where the score stayed until the 6th. But the Pios were able to rally late, 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and it stayed 3-3 until the 9th. And then Maya Salvo's bunt brought in Wiltsey with the winning run. Can Metzger get out of this on 0-2? That's popped up, but it's back behind the plate. You better work chant coming out of the Sacred Heart dugout on the first base side. The Pioneers have been loud all game. They've been spirited. What a run they've gone on coming down the stretch without Sam Kowalski. The 0-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. But the Pios push 3 across, and after an inning and a half, it is Sacred Heart 3, Marist 1 in Game 5 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship.
No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to
This season was a momentous year for the Red Foxes on many fronts, but their leader, head coach Joe Asano, in his 18th season, surpassed 500 wins in his Marist tenure, becoming the only head coach in Marist history, regardless of sport, to reach 500 wins or more. Coach Joe has always wanted positivity on his squads. Haley R. said about Coach Joe, he's not looking at who got out. He's looking at what you're doing after you got out. He wants to see that you're going to fit into the team culture and the positive outlook on the game. Guys, one of the Marist all-time greats.
William Rosen, thank you so much. I'm Mike Ferraro along with Caroline Barada. William Rosen with that report. Thank you, William. And William will have our interviews coming up after the bottom of the third and top of the fourth with Joe Asano and Pam London. Livia Wiltsey is the hitter, and Caroline, she has had a terrific freshman season.
She really has. She's brought a spark to this Marist team as a freshman, and it's very impressive to watch.
She's down the count 0-2 here. Wiltsey has 2 grand slams this season. And she has a lot of power as well. 10 homers, 39 RBIs to go with a .316 batting average. She's been getting the number 5 spot on the line pretty regularly, but she goes down on strikes for the first out in the bottom of the second.
That was a great off-speed pitch by Campion. We haven't seen that much yet today, but that was a great pitch by her.
So you see Campion takes a little bit off of that one, had some sinking action as well. So Sacred Heart with its pitching staff, when these teams face each other on April 7th, Kowalski got game 1, Heath got game 2. This is the first time Marist has seen Campion. Sam Rogers chops that one. Sam Rogers sitting in the number 6 spot in the Marist lineup. She was a second-team All-MAAC selection last year. And at times this year, she has caught fire. She is always a reliable RBI producer, 40 of them to be exact this season, to go along with 7 home runs. And when she hits home runs, they have a tendency to come in bunches. That's grounded foul. Campion getting ahead of hitters.
Sam also might be the strongest kid on this Marist team. Would you agree, Mike?
Yeah, you know, she puts in a ton in the weight room. Pure strength. Yeah, you have a tough time trying to figure, is there anybody pound for pound against Sam Rogers here? She hit 2 in last year's championship final against Siena. Campion changes speeds, and Rogers is out in front of it. It's popped towards short, and Henke puts it away for the second out.
Mike, I think Sacred Heart has a little bit of an advantage right now, Marist not having seen Campion yet this year.
And now you wonder, what will these Marist at-bats look like the second time through as well? It is a clear advantage to the pitcher, and Campion, the first year from Minnesota, Gave up one in the first, but held the Red Foxes in bay. Have got the first 2 Red Fox hitters in the second. Now it's the first baseman, Lily Romelis, and the freshman from Rhode Island takes ball 1. So Marist has mixed and matched a little bit with some of their freshmen. Romelis playing first base. Annabelle Geiser has played some first base. We've seen Maya Salvo, McKenna Manley in the lineup at times, albeit not right now. Romelis will work counts almost as much as any hitter on this Marist team. I think that the top 3 Red Foxes, when it comes to that, really it's her, Annabelle Geiser, and Sienna Kunze. Romelis hit her first career Grand Slam at Manhattan last Wednesday. That's a chopper right side toward Bender, has to hustle, and she makes the play for the 3rd out. So Emily Campion, a shutdown inning in the bottom of the 2nd. The Pios scored 3, and that's a 1-2-3 inning. After 2, Sacred Heart 3, Marist 1. To the top of the 3rd we go, and leading it off for Sacred Heart is the same hitter who led off the top of the 2nd, the shortstop Nicole Henke. That's right, the Pioneers sent 9 to the plate in the top of the 2nd, in which Sacred Heart scored 3, left 3 on. It could have been even more damage. So we'll see if Ava Metzger can hold the Pios at bay as she gets ahead of Henke. Anna Sidlowski started this one. Ran into some trouble. She went just 1 1/3. Now it's Metzger trying to keep the Marist deficit at 2. And Metzger has been doing a good job getting ahead of hitters.
Yeah, she's doing a great job of changing speeds as well. Keeping it low in the zone, keeping it up in the zone. She's doing a good job of that.
The Red Foxes got to play midweek games the last couple weeks of the regular season, and sometimes you don't always like that because, okay, are people being overworked? As that one is skied into left. Geiser is going back, but she's under it for the 1st out. But what the Red Foxes got to do in those doubleheaders against Monmouth and Manhattan is give all of their pitchers some work. Kaylee DeChickas, Emma Byer getting some work, but also to use the customary starting rotation in some relief roles. Sidlowski had pitched a lot in relief, but also some chances to see Metzger and Blanchard coming out of the bullpen. And they pitched really well in those situations. So, going into this championship, you'll never know what your role is on any given day.
And, you know, it also gave Sidlowski some at-bats, too. She's been swinging a hot bat, as Asanio has some faith in her to put her in the 8-hole today.
And she will lead off the bottom of the 3rd as she stays in. Now, when Joe Asanio turned in the lineup card, we'll get to this after this 1-0 offering, 2-0, that you had the DP pitcher flip there because that way, if you take Sidlowski out of the game, well, Ava Metzger doesn't have to put a bat in her hands.
And listen, he was very used to doing that last year with Maddie Pleasance, right?
Exactly. We're going back to the future here. That's popped up. Kunze, a couple steps in fair territory with the catch for the 2nd out. So now it's Kaylin Freed, and Freed has been in the middle of a couple of big Sacred Heart rallies, and she singled and scored last inning. Popped up right side, out of play.
Metzger inherited some tough base runners last inning, but she's been doing a great job of getting ahead of batters this inning.
No, she certainly has. And Sadlowski came in the game. She gave up the hit to Stoops, but she's retired 4 in a row since then. Ahead in the count again against Freed, 0-1. Ahead 0-2 now is that one knocked down the MAAC sign. Whitney Swab, please report to duty. We need your twist tie again. As we'll get another look. And because of where that is and the fact that it has to be taken care of because it is just sitting there and you don't want that to be a hazard, especially if there's a pop-up that's hit back to the backstop or really anything for that matter. That's not something that you can play through. So,
it's a little
well,
distracting
in a day where every minute is at a premium, Caroline, I think we just hit bingo for everything we've seen today. Great job by Sam Higuera playing the Caddyshack theme here. Any way you want it. Bella Mannery looking toward the backstop as well. Got to run into Bella's mom before the game day, too. Bella's twin sister, Adriana, playing in the NEC Championship for Central Connecticut State. LIU is hosting that one. So the Mannery family, well, the twins, the last go-round of it, and Whitney Swab got that done in terrific pit stop territory right there. Every minute counts as you're fighting darkness here. Here comes the 0-2, and that one just misses. We just covered a lot in that last minute. That we had. You talk about bingo. We got Caddyshack, a MAAC sign, the Mannery family, going to see their twin daughters, Adriana and Bella, in their final conference championships. And a Marist Sacred Heart game that's 3-1, the top of the third. Can Metzger get out of it? That's a good try on 1-2 changing speeds. Well, it's 2-2. Henke flew out to left. Hodel popped out to third. Soft liner, but out of the reach of Romelis, so this at-bat stays alive. Should Freed keep it going, it's the left fielder, Jess Brown. Then we turn it over to the top. Need I say more? We'll see if Metzger can cut the inning right now, though. Here comes her 2-2. We'll do it again. It's funny that these two teams battled almost to the tip of darkness in the regular season. The doubleheader started at 1 o'clock. You had 19 innings of softball, so you almost fit 3 full games into 2, and it was pushing 7 o'clock when that first game, when the second game came to an end in the bottom of the 10th. 2-2 for Metzger, misses upstairs.
That was a long day of softball. You're right. We probably could have played 3 games that day.
Josh Smith, who handles Sacred Heart sports information duties, remember talking to him, and there were a couple times we said, well, this has to be the last inning. Nope, kept pushing it. There were some quick innings there, too. Sadlowski did a great job in that game. And this at-bat stays alive. Ava Metzger, past 4 seasons at Manhattan, and with Marist, from the pitching staff, losing Kylie Myers and Maddie Pleasance after last year. They had some holes to fill, and Metzger has done an admirable job. What a walk there, work by Freed. Now it's Brown. She drew a walk in the middle of that rally in the second inning and then came around to score. And for Marist and Metzger, let's just say this. For Marist, it is imperative that this inning ends with this particular hitter.
You can see
and
Joe
now
Assanio
you see
bringing
the
in
5
his right
infielder
fielder
lineup as timeout is called by Brown. So we've seen Andy Russo do this with Iona. they do it a little bit differently with Joe Assanio because it's Sam Rogers who comes in from right field. So you look at this alignment here. Romelis at first, that's Sam Rogers playing normally where the second baseman would. It's Wiltsey to the left of the second base bag in this picture. Haley R at short, Kunze up at third. So the potential for a 9-3 put out if it's hit to Rogers. And Metzger misses just low.
As a hitter in this situation, what are you thinking, Mike?
Get the bat in the hands of El Lacrone by any way possible. Take pitches, take more pitches, work a count. And not surprisingly, she takes a strike. The count's 2-1. Fried worked a walk after a long at bat. Metzger has gone an inning and a third to this point. Lined left side and foul. Pam London having to dance out of the way of that one. Sacred Heart, 3 runs, 6 hits already in this game. Marist has only hit, to this point, the infield single by Pusey to start the game. We'll see if Metzger can end this inning right here. Here comes her 2-2. Poked foul. And you figure with Brown and slapping and bat-to-ball skills, it's going to be tough to get one by her. And she's going, all she has to do is flick the wrist to keep the inning alive.
Could be a little more difficult with 5 infielders as well.
Brown has struck out 7 times this season, but she's drawn 14 walks. Keeps this at bat alive.
We've lost a lot of softballs today.
Jess Brown has a .479 on base percentage. The way it's going for Sacred Heart, yeah, I'd want that person hitting in front of Lacrone. So again, another long count here for Metzger. The bomb of the Sacred Heart lineup doing a lot to spoil pitches, and as Caroline said, lose softballs as well. Two. Into left. Geyser makes the catch for the final out. So Metzger works around the 2-out walk, and after 2.5, it is Sacred Heart 3, Marist 1. To the bottom of the third we go, 8-9-1 in the Marist order due up. So it's Anna Sidlowski who started in the circle, but Caroline, as you mentioned, she's done some damage as a hitter coming down the stretch. Sidlowski on the season, hitting .526 with a homer and 4 RBIs, getting some at-bats coming down the stretch, and she takes the ball. 10 for 19. She's also drawn 5 walks, struck out just twice. Hit her first collegiate homer at Canisius. That one, high, deep to center. Goodbye, home run! Anna Sidlowski. And that cuts Sacred Heart's lead to 3-2. Holy cow, Anna Sidlowski is on a roll at the plate, and did the Red Foxes ever need that one? Dead center field. She got a hold of that one, and it's a one-run game.
Yeah, Mike, she's been doing a great job of swinging the bat in those midweeks, and Coach Asanio gives her a chance in a big game like this.
Joe Asanio's methodology with the bottom of the lineup has been ride the hot hand. Speaks a lot about where this team is. Annabelle Geiser, who has been a joy to watch as a freshman, takes ball one. Geiser, a second-team All-MAAC selection at utility. Member of the MAAC All-Rookie team, a slap hitter, a ton of speed as well, and she can work a counter to herself. And now it's 2-0.
Geiser does a great job of turning the lineup over to Pusey.
So, Geiser's been using a few different spots this year, right, Caroline? Early in the year when Peyton Pusey was on the Caroline Barada plan of take the leadoff hitter for multiple years and move her down the 2-3 spot, Geiser hit leadoff. But then Pusey went back to the top. Geiser hit second a lot. She's shuffled between hitting up high and hitting in the 9-hole now. But again, in that 9-hole, you can do just what she is. And the count is now 3-0. So you figure she's going to be selective here. Any ball she puts on the ground, the infield with her speed, she has a chance to get to first. Joe's Bond brings it back. That's ball 4. So here you go. The Red Foxes, the first two have reached in the bottom of the third. The home run by Sidlowski. Then the 4-pitch walk to Geiser. And now here comes Peyton Pusey. And Caroline, if we've learned one thing from the games here at Gartland Field today, as we see Geiser, that was close.
That was very close.
Games can change on a dime here. Geiser bluffs away from first, and the pitch misses up. As if you hear something in the background there goes the freight train down by the river, making the run just before 7 p.m. Full day of softball, and it's been awesome here. And Campion has now thrown 6 in a row out of the zone since the Sidlowski homer. Bella Mannery awaits on deck, and now we'll have a conference in the infield. So after Geiser 2, you also have the 3 seniors for the Red Foxes hitting back to back to back, with Mannery operating out of the 2-hole recently. Pusey, Mannery, and R. So this is what Pam London had been talking about with Campion, though. The freshman pitcher, she had been the number 3 much of the year. She goes up, one step up in the pecking order after the injury to Kowalski. And sometimes, you know what? You just have to figure it out. And Marist baseball, that chant may be borrowed. I'll just say that. But applicable for certain. Pusey ahead in the count 2-0. She swings 2-0 and fouls it away. Now, again, with the aggressive approach, you have to think, hey, if there's one you like, take a crack at it.
I like that 2-0 swing right there. Even though she did throw 6 balls in a row, I like that 2-0 approach right there.
Pusey had the Red Foxes first hit in this game, an infield single to start it off. That one misses low. The count is now 3-1. Coming up at the end of this half inning, we will have William Rosen with Joe Asanio, as this interview will take place right at the conclusion of the third. 3-1, up the middle, fielded by Campion. She'll try and throw to second, and Bender held the bag. It was a timing play, and Campion did the right thing, just throw it at the bag, and Bender got there for the first out. Good news is you retired a speedy runner. The bad news is she's replaced by Pusey at first. Let's get another look. And so many times you will see a pitcher just take that sure out, but realizing that that's the tying run aboard, Campion made the decision to try to get the lead runner, and it worked for her.
Yeah, I think that was a smart play by Campion there.
I know. Can I ask him about?
I give this first-year pitcher a lot of credit. She walked into a chaotic game against Quinnipiac in the 7th inning, and, you know, you can tell, amped up, whatever. She threw the first pitch to the backstop. She settled down and got out of that game, got her first collegiate save. She's leading the Red Foxes here, the #1 seed in the bottom of the third. She's competing really well in this game.
Yeah, she's holding her own against a very lethal Marist lineup here, Mike.
And this is the pocket right here with the seniors. Mannery with the 1-1 count on her. Bella Mannery, she's increased her batting average all 4 seasons at Marist. 4-year starter, primarily at the catcher position. Also seen some time at third this year, alternating with Sienna Kunze. But it's been Mannery primarily behind the dish. She swings and misses, throw down to second with Pusey, and it gets away. Pusey's going to third. And she gets there without a throw. Charlene Davis is a great thrower at the catcher position. That one kicked off the glove, and now Pusey at third with 1 out.
Mike, I think that was supposed to be a hit and run. Bella did her job with swinging at that pitch, trying to get contact and moving Pusey.
We'll get another look. And that one just off the glove of Henke. She had to dive there, and that's a called strike 3. So a huge second out by Campion. But now, well, you have to face the Red Foxes' all-time leader. Now we could say batting average, hits, doubles, and RBIs. Haley R. She just painted that one. And here comes Pam London. I'm not sure if she will recite that exact speech to Campion about Haley R., but it might be along the lines of, this is a great hitter. First base is open. However, you also have Sienna Kunze, the Marist team leader in home runs, on deck.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach London does and how she pitches to R in this at-bat. Looks like it was a pretty quick conversation there.
So let's see what the Pioneers have in order here. R hit the fly ball into short center that Bender made the catch on, but it brought home Pusey from third.
Point to me when I'm on.
Ball 1. Haley R has been on fire coming down the stretch as well. In Marist's 14-game winning streak, she's in 458 with 19 RBIs. And she's ahead in the count 2-0. And you know that Haley R, with a 2-0 count, if she sees something she likes, chances are it won't pass by. Campion's 2-0. 3-0. Can understand Campion pitching around R, but no rest for the weary with Kunze on deck. 3-0. Ball 4. Haley R draws the walk. And now here comes Sienna Kunze.
And let's see what Coach Asanio does with runners on the corners here. He likes to play some tricky base running sometimes, try to get the ball thrown around a little bit. So we'll see what he does here.
Especially with Pusey being the tying run at third. We know the Red Foxes have some tricks up their sleeves. Well, we see one here. But with Kunze being as quality of a hitter as she has been, maybe it's just you let her swing the bat. Strike 1.
I think they just called a timing violation on the pitcher.
And now Pam London wants an explanation of what's going on. Brandon Hibbler is the plate umpire. So now the count is 1-0. Good call, Caroline. Good eyes and ears on that one. So now an advantageous count for Kunze. The 1-0. Lined into left field, base hit. Here comes Pusey. We're tied at 3.
That wasn't quite the home run we're used to from Kunze, but it works in that situation.
How about it? Just get the job done. RBI single. Sienna Kunze, second team All-MAAC each of the last 2 years. And you know what? Don't try to do too much. Just make solid contact. It worked. Pass the baton to Olivia Wiltsey.
She's very deserving of that accolade, having caught a majority of the games last year. being put at third this year.
Wiltsey, first pitch swinging into right center field. The dive, it lands. In comes R. Here comes the play at the plate, and safe as Cubsy. She didn't think it was going to be that close, but it's a 2-run double for Livia Wiltsey, and Marist is in the lead 5-3. There was a lot happening on that play, Caroline.
There was. But that's why Wiltsey is an impressive freshman to me. She goes up there and swings the bat.
And Wiltsey, another one too that if she sees one she likes, she will attack. Rogers the hitter. She takes ball 1. Well, Caroline, if you wanted to see a 3-1 game, that was the one that started yesterday and finished at about 9:30 this morning. Since then, hitting, and to close out the day, hitting. Rogers fouls that one away right side. Count 1-1. Junior from Southern Connecticut. I'm sorry, Caroline.
Wiltsey continues to be a force in that 5-hole, getting all those RBI opportunities, and she cashes in again.
This part of the Marist lineup, there's been a little bit of variability throughout the year in terms of who's hit where. And that one gets away from Davis. She didn't see it at first. Wiltsey gets to third. She will stop there. And how about the timing of this? William Rosen will interview Joe Asania right after the bottom of this inning. 2-1 to Rogers. That one bounces.
It's a great block by the catcher, Davis, there.
Yeah, Charlene Davis. She's terrific in all aspects of the game. Great defensive catcher, blocking, throwing, and a clutch hitter as well. 3-1. And that one's in the dirt again. It's ball 4. Here comes Wiltsey. It's 6-3 Marist. The Red Foxes have put up 5 in the third. Rogers goes towards second, but she will retreat to first. And now here comes Pam London to the circle. Campion deserves a lot of credit for how she started this game, but Anna Sidlowski starts it with a homer in the bottom of the third. The Red Foxes will now send their 9th hitter to the plate in the inning, and the first baseman, Lily Ramelis, and now it will be Emily Heath who gets the call for Sacred Heart. Heath went the first 6 innings against Quinnipiac and got the win in Game 1 today. Now, in the never-ending game of Marist and Sacred Heart fight darkness on the 7th day of the month, this being the April version, in the 10-inning game with that one, it was Heath who got the start in that one, and she went the entire way in that. That was a 7-6 Marist victory. And in that contest, Heath went 9 1/3 innings. She threw 148 pitches. She gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned. She walked 4, struck out 1, but in that game, it was back and forth, and she held the Red Foxes scoreless from the 6th through the 9th, and it was an unearned run after a throw got away on a bunt, how the winning run scored. So you know that the Pioneers are going to compete. They have had the chips down at different points of this season. We mentioned when Kowalski got hurt. That was in the midst of a 6-game losing streak with a tough schedule upcoming. After that, they had to play Mount, then they had to play Iona, and then they had to play Quinnipiac. 8 games. They won 6 to get the 4 seed in this championship without Kowalski, who had been their everything as a pitcher and a hitter. So count out Sacred Heart at your own risk, but Marist is struck for 5 here in the third. It's Ramelis. She takes ball 1. This Marist team, you know, you get asked about it. That's about, well, what's different between last year and this year, right? And last year's team, it was about as perfect of a team as you could ever build. Ramelis grounds that one foul, count 1-1. They literally had everything, right, Caroline?
Right. They had pitching, they had defense, they had the hitting. Like you said, Mike, it's a different team this year.
There's a lot of youth, but there's been a lot of, well, how do the parts fit together as Romelis takes a strike, and that makes the count 1 and 2.
And you know what, they do have a lot of youth, but Coach Asanio puts them in good positions in the beginning of the year to get that experience come the tournament.
Right, with what they do in terms of preseason tournaments before the MAAC schedule starts, and even shifting people around based on who's been hot and who hasn't been. We've seen Romelis in the lineup. McKenna Manley has delivered at times. Maya Salvo, she was the one that laid down the squeeze bunt. She had 2 home runs this year against Arizona State. So these freshmen, they've all shown flashes at different points. Wiltsey and Geyser have been the mainstays. Romelis, someone, she has a lot of talent. She's shown it at times. And she can work counts, as we mentioned. She stays alive on the 1-2 offering. Romelis, the 9th batter of the inning, so if she gets aboard, Sidlowski, who started all of this, will come back up again for the 2nd time in the inning. The 1-2. Off speed, swung on and missed. So Romelis is down on strikes, but the Red Foxes strike for 5 in the bottom of the 3rd. Sidlowski's homer started it. It is a 6-3 lead for Marist. As now, let's go over to William Rosen. He's with Marist head coach Joe Asanio. William, you can take it away whenever you're good here.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. Here, Coach Joe Asanio. Coach, some good momentum there in the half inning. What'd you like from your team?
Yeah, we just had to have, more quality at bats. We were chasing some of her pitches, and I just told them, I said, be patient, look for good strikes to hit, and they really stepped up that inning.
How are you going to stay in front heading into the darkness?
Well, listen, this is a really good team that we're facing, and we know that they have done a lot this past couple of weeks. So, they deserve to be here, and we expect them to come out here fighting.
Coach, good luck.
And we're back here top of the 4th. So here's the bad news for the Red Foxes. Ella Crone is hitting, who's only 6 for 6 in this championship. But from the Marist perspective, the good news is she's leading off an inning. So there's nobody she could drive in other than herself.
Right, she's leading off an inning down by 3 as well. She can't hit a 3-run home run here.
Well, she's done everything else. She's 6 for 6 today. Crone, 2nd team All-MAAC selection. And she has really taken over the alpha role for this Sacred Heart team. Kowalski out, and they had a great 1-2 punch at the top of the lineup with LaCrone and Kowalski. And LaCrone, she's just been phenomenal this whole day. Hits her first 2 times up after 4 against Quinnipiac. Ava Metzger popped up, and that'll go behind us. Hopefully no rebound. I think we're good. Again, if you've never been to a game at Gartland Field, those rocks behind us, you have to watch just in case they come back to you. I made a mistake on that in a game this year against Ryder. 1-2. In the air, short center. Olivia Wiltsey makes the catch. And at 7:12 p.m. on May 7th, 2026, Ella Crone has been retired in the MAAC championship for the first time. Sierra Bender's the hitter, and she's been a really tough out as well. That she laid down the bunt in the first inning that you literally couldn't have rolled it any better. And she was right in the middle of that rally for the Pios in the top of the 2nd. First pitch swinging, fouled straight back.
Yeah, she's another one of those Sacred Heart hitters that just goes up to the plate and swings. And I like her approach, especially against Metzger, who's been starting to get ahead of the Sacred Heart hitters.
Bender this season, 170 at-bats, 271 hitter in the regular season, couple homers, 24 RBIs. Now, she doesn't walk a ton, 9 walks, but she doesn't strike out a lot either. 19 and 170 at-bats, and you'll certainly take that out of your 2 hitters. That one's fouled back. Count 0-2. The Marist pitchers have recorded one strikeout to this point, and that was Barbera to end the second inning. It was Metzger who achieved that one. Sidlowski started in the circle, went 1 1/3. She was pulled in the middle of the Sacred Heart rally. Metzger was able to limit it to 3 runs. The Sacred Heart did leave the bases loaded in that inning. Held the Pios down in the top of the third. Marist struck for 5. I mean, how many times have we seen a crooked number today? In every game.
We've also seen the score go back and forth a few times as well, though.
The boomerang effect. Here comes the 1-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3. And Metzger has her second strikeout. Now here's Stoops. 1 for 2 in this one. And Sadlowski starts her off with the ball.
The last time up against Metzger, I believe she grounded right back up the middle, almost hit her, right?
That's the one.
Yeah.
That was the one. And Stoops, that was the first hitter Metzger faced. So now the Sacred Heart hitters seeing Metzger for a second time. Drove in a run with that one into right field and lands near the tarp. Rogers is looking in the tarp for the ball. Hopefully that's not waterlogged. If it is, Metzger will probably get a new one. 7 a.m. tarp pull this morning, and as you mentioned earlier, Caroline, just a tremendous job by everyone involved to get this field ready for a 9 a.m. start. 1-1 by Metzger. Line drive into right field. That lands in front of Rogers for a 2-out single. The only 1-2-3 half inning we've seen has been Campion against Marist in the bottom of the second. Charlene Davis digs in. She's 0 for 2 in this game. She lined out to Kunze in the first, and she did not hold up on that swing. That was a key part of that inning for Marist. The Sacred Heart had runners on second and third, and Davis lined out to Kunze. It was a hard shot, but Kunze was ready for it, and Marist got out of the first with no runs scored. The 0-1, low and in.
Yeah, Kunze had a lot of action that inning, also getting out the previous batter on a ball that was hit fairly hard. She had a nice stop and decided to throw to first.
The first inning was the Sienna Kunze inning. With Sidlowski pitching, as we talked about, the infielders are going to get work. Metzger trends a little bit more toward fly balls, as that one's in the air and foul right side. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Should Davis keep it going, then it's Alexa Barbera. Davis has hit into some bad luck, looking for her first hit in this championship. Actually, a lot of bad luck if you look at both games today. 0 for 6, but you figure she's due. Metzger hopes it's just not here. 2-2, 2 outs, top of the fourth with Marist leading 6-3. That's lined into center, but Pusey is there for the final out.
Thank you.
After 3.5, it is Marist 6, Sacred Heart 3. As William Rosen will be talking to Sacred Heart coach Pam London before we go to break.
Hold on, wait.
As Pam London now working her way back toward the third base side where William Rosen is located. Pam London working her way through the maze of Red Foxes, going out for stretching. And let's throw it to William Rosen. He's with Sacred Heart coach Pam London. William, take it away.
Here with the coach, Pam London. Coach, you let up a few runs in that prior half inning. How do you get the lead back in the Pios' favor?
We just got to keep swinging, right? We've been having hot bats lately, so I believe in them. They can hit, so we're going to try to come rushing back. That's all.
Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Caroline, Mike?
She started that 5-run third inning with a solo homer to center field. Sacred Heart entered that inning with a 3-1 lead. First time she'll be facing Emily Heath. Big swing and got a piece of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was Anna easily could have gone down on herself and not really cared about how she hit this game after her first inning of throwing. But, you know, she came in, hit a home run, and got the Red Foxes going.
And that's such a great point you made, Caroline, just from the player's perspective of it, right? That those things can stick in your head, but Sidlowski has two jobs. That's a grounder to third. Stoops, fields, fires, one away. And now we go to the Roadrunner part of the Marist lineup with Annabelle Geiser in the 9 spot. Then we'll turn it over to the top in Pusey. Annabelle Geiser keeping the dirty uniform streak alive. Freshman from Mason, Ohio. Does she have some speed?
I like the dirty uniform. If your uniform's not dirty, you didn't play hard enough, Mike.
You would know. You would know, right? So we talk about Geiser and Pusey, and Caroline, what's interesting is those two have formed a bond that's been interesting to see this year. Peyton Pusey plays the game with a ferocious amount of intensity. She's the MAAC Player of the Year for a reason. And Pusey said early on that she admires the fact that Annabelle Geiser plays with a similar mentality. There are some similarities, there are some differences in their games, but you get the feeling that next year, and quite possibly as long as she's here, that Geiser's going to move into that number 1 spot and hold it for a while in this Marist lineup. Here comes the 1-2, and that misses away. Pusey, obviously, tremendous power. She can do it all, as we've talked about. Geiser, a slap hitter by nature. The speed is incredible. The competitive fire is awesome. And she's been a great addition to this program. That slap, this will be a tough play. Grounder to short, and Geiser beats it down the line.
That extra hop right there in front of the shortstop allowed Geiser to get there safely.
Let's get another look. Adds an in-between hop, too. If Henke charges, it's not a guarantee that she's going to get Geiser. But by staying back, Geiser's speed wins the day. And now it's turned over back to the top of the lineup in Pusey.
Yeah, on a batter like Geiser, with nobody on base, the infield almost has to play a few more steps in just because of her speed.
Point well made. You have to give yourself every chance you can because against somebody with lesser speed, that's a routine ground ball. Here's Pusey. Called strike on the outer half. It's now 4 straight years that Marist has had the MAAC Player of the Year. Pusey this year, Maya McDonald 2025-2024, Maddie Pleasance 2023. Nubbed toward Henke, she goes to second in time. That had some interesting spin on it. Henke stayed with it, so for the second straight at bat, Pusey hits into a fielder's choice. She replaces Geiser at first, and now it's Bella Mannery.
Yeah, like you said, it had some tough spin on it. It looked like Pusey got fisted a little bit.
That's a good play. That's a good play by Henke. Staying with it and having to make a quick decision against a speedy runner. Mannery fouls that one off. So, if Bella keeps the inning going, it goes to Haley R. Mannery, for most of this season, about half of her hits have gone for extra bases. She's walked into some pop the last couple of years here. And she has had some big moments in the month of May throughout her career. She was named to the MAAC All-Championship team 2 years ago, and of course, the bunt as a freshman, that's going to live in the lore of this program for an awfully long time. 0-2 count here. Off speed, grounded to third. That is a foul ball.
The past
Marist would have caught a break there because that would have ended the inning.
Yeah, the past couple swings Mannery has taken, it looks like she's a little out in front of it. Looks like she needs to let the ball get a little bit deeper and drive it right back up the middle or to right center.
Mannery had a sacrifice in the first. Struck out looking in the third. That one misses away. As we mentioned, Bella's twin sister, Adriana, plays softball at Central Connecticut State. We've seen Adriana on this campus more than once. She was at NCAA Regionals last year at Texas A&M. She won a between innings contest, too. And the 1-2 was fouled away. We've certainly enjoyed getting to see this family and the families of all of these seniors over the course of the last 4 years. And of course, Ava Metzger for this year, really a special senior class for Marist with Busey, Mannery, R, and Metzger. Trying to conclude their careers with 3 MAAC championships. And the 1-2 misses away. If they do that, these 1-2-3 hitters in the Marist lineup would be the first 3 players in program history to go to 3 NCAA tournaments. That's what's on the line here this week.
That'd be a pretty impressive feat.
2-2. Nubbed. Another chance for Hankey. Throw across is in time. And the Red Foxes go down in the 4th. We go to the 5th with Marist holding a 6-3 lead in Game 5 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. To the top of the 5th we go. Ava Metzger has done a terrific job in the circle. She walked into a tough situation in the 2nd inning, but she's tossed 2 2/3 scoreless in relief of Anna Sidlowski, and the Red Foxes have staked her to a 6-3 lead. We have 5, 6, and 7 in the Sacred Heart lineup due up. Alexa Barbera, the right fielder, Nicole Hankey, the shortstop, and then Catherine Hodel, the DP. Barbera's looking for her first hit in this one. Grounded to Kunze to end the 1st and struck out in the 2nd. First pitch swinging, and that one goes foul. You may remember that ground ball that Barbera hit. The Red Foxes caught a breakthrough that was the snow cone by Romelis on the other end, and that looms large in this game now. If that wasn't handled, that could have been a potential big inning for the Pios as well.
Could have been a few runs there, too.
Deep to right, Rogers going back. That is off the wall on a hop. And Barbera slides into second. Rogers' throw goes to Kunze at 3rd. So Barbera with a leadoff double.
That's exactly what Sacred Heart needs in that spot. You know, Mike, they need to get runners in scoring position. They need to get after Ava Metzger.
3rd hit allowed by Metzger, who has a walk and 2 strikeouts, but 0 runs allowed to this point. The hitter is Hankey. She's fallen out twice today, and she takes ball 1. The sun is getting close to going over the mountains at this point. But there's still plenty to illuminate this field as of right now. Called strike, outer half. Marist scored 1 in the bottom of the first. Sacred Heart 3 in the top of the second. Marist 5 in the bottom of the third. That's how we got here. And then we played a 4th inning without any runs scored by either team, which I didn't know was possible here at Gartland Field today. Hankey fouls that one off, and Metzger ahead in the count 1-2. Nicole Hankey, the senior from Carlstadt, New Jersey. One of 7 seniors on this Sacred Heart team. They participated in a graduation ceremony on campus on Tuesday, along with athletes from their track and field team who will be competing in the MAAC championship at Mount St. Mary's this weekend. That's in the air and off the tent now to play. That came after Sacred Heart held its senior brunch on Tuesday morning. Classes winding down, graduation season approaching all across the conference. That one skied into left field. Geiser into foul territory, has room, and she juggles it but makes the catch for the first out. Caroline, I thought we had bingo about an hour ago, but I don't know how Geiser held on to that one, but she did.
She did. Required a lot of focus, but she did it.
Well, you just put that one in the book as FF7. FF to indicate foul territory for me. Portal, the hitter, she walked and scored in the second. She was really the one who started that rally, working the walk with 1 out, and scored the first of the Payos 3 runs in the frame. Then she popped out to Kunze in the third. Strike 1. The winner of this game will face Iona in the winner's bracket final, which will be Game 7 of the championship. Game 6 will be Quinnipiac Fairfield. The winner of that one will play the loser of this one in Game 8. Line drive, foul. Pam London was ready. And by ready, I mean she ducked in time. Ava Metzger, the graduate student from Freehold, New Jersey. Spent the last 4 years at Manhattan. Won herself a MAAC regular season championship this year. Now trying to get to her first NCAA tournament. That's skied, left side. In comes Geiser into foul ground. Makes the catch for the second out. So Barbera remaining at second after the leadoff double, but still one more hitter to fight through for the Red Foxes. One more out to get, as it's Freed, who singled and scored in the second, and then she walked in the third. So Marist has not retired Kaylin Freed so far today. Metzger's first offering misses up and away.
Mike, and as you can see, Ava Metzger's inducing way more fly balls than Anna Sadlowski did. It's a little bit different of a game now.
And that's what you get with the contrast in styles. And maybe another reason why Joe Lasagno feels so good mixing and matching pitchers, because you get different looks. Here's the 1-0. That's in the air. Right side, going out is Wiltsey, and she makes the catch for the third out. So Barbera stranded at second after the leadoff double, and after 4.5, it is Marist 6, Sacred Heart 3 in Game 5 of the 2026 MAAC Softball Championship. There's some daylight here. It's enough to play ball as we go to the bottom of the 5th, and Marist leading Sacred Heart by a count of 6-3. It's 3-4-5 in the Marist lineup due up, so it will be Haley R, Sienna Kunze, and Olivia Wiltsey.
It's a very dangerous part of the lineup of Marist here.
6-3 lead for the Red Foxes, and R looks at strike one. Haley R, a run scored and RBI, walking a sacrifice fly so far today. No official at bats. There's a line drive into right center field. It gets down. R's digging for two. Here she comes. There's the slide. She's safe with a leadoff double. Marist's all-time leader in that category gets another. Haley R makes so much hard contact. If she hits it at somebody, well, I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Listen, Mike, if she hits that ball any harder, I don't know if she even gets to second.
That's a great point, Caroline. And now Haley's going to come out for a pinch runner as Marissa Scarano will pick up the courtesy phone and head to second base. And R, of course, will come back in the top of the 6th. And now Kunze, the hitter. It was her single that put Marist in the lead in the 3rd inning. She also grounded out to third her first time up, and that one misses away. Sienna Kunze, Marist's leader in home runs this year with 12. Hit 11 in MAAC play, more than anybody in conference play. Her first this year was a 2-run homer against South Carolina, which accounted for Marist's 2 runs in the 2-1 victory. Kunze goes oppo. What a play! Alexa Barbera lays out and makes the catch. The throw in gets away, but it lands in the glove of the third baseman, Stoops. Wow, Barbera laid out for that one.
What a nice play right there.
Let's get another look. Hey, you just have to tip your cap sometimes.
For sure, because that would have been extra bases.
It sure would have been. And now it's Wiltsey. First pitch hunting, that goes high and deep to center field. It is off the wall. Scarano had to hold up for a second, so she'll go to third. It is a long, hard single for Olivia Wiltsey. Again, that's another one of those 3 outcome plays at Gartland Field. Is it going to be caught? Is it going to be a home run? Or did you just hit it so hard it's going to be a single?
A long single, wins. Too.
Hit to the deepest part of the park. So now it's Sam Rogers. Let's get another look. Freed had a chance at that one too, but it hit the wall little less than halfway up. Scarano, you just have to make the safe play there.
Right.
The pinch runner does. And now Joe Assanio having a conference with his base runners and batter, shielding himself from the sun.
And you know what, Mike? You know what makes this lineup so lethal is that you have Kunze and Wiltsey behind R, who is such a dynamic hitter over the past 5 years.
The 4 through 7 has shifted around a lot during the course of the year. The constants, particularly since about the second week of the season, have been Pusey's hitting first, R's hitting third, and everything else is up for grabs, right? But 4 through 7, whether it's been Kunze, Wiltsey, Rogers hitting the 4-hole a lot, had a little bit of a slump in April. Kunze and Wiltsey were going a little bit higher. They moved them up. Then Rogers really found her way late in the season, but she's operated just fine here in the 6 and 7 spots.
Right, but you have enough protection behind R that they still need to pitch to her.
And that's been part of what Joe Assanio has talked about with Haley R, that he said, hey, we have to find the right hitters to hit in front of you to get people on base for you, and we have to find the right protection behind you. Rogers nubs that one foul. Sam Rogers, 40 RBIs this season. 15 of them have come in the last 10 games. I'm sorry, I just giggle every time I see that beach ball in the dugout.
We got a 1-1 count here. Let's see if Joe Assanio does anything on the bases here, being up by 3.
Wiltsey has some speed. That one's up. Now, again, Davis is one of those catchers you don't want to mess with either. I wonder if there was something he was thinking about there as a matter of fact. So Wiltsey's at first, Scarano at third. 2-1 count to Rogers. That one misses away. And if it just started to look a decent amount darker on your screen, the sun is starting to make its way over the side of the mountain. Oh, the crew's trying to do it to me. They're trying to get me to crack. The Red Foxes are loose. That much we can tell. 3-1, popped up in the infield. That's Henke, the shortstop, 2 away. Now it's Romelis looking for her first hit in this one. She grounded out to second in the second, struck out to end the third. Take strike one. Lily Romelis, decorated high school career in Rhode Island. She played for her father, Joe, there, assistant coach, associate head coach, and then head coach. And that one's grounded foul toward the Sacred Heart dugout, and the count is 0-2.
And I can hear Coach Alyssa Grubb saying, keep it simple, keep it simple. That's all you have to do in this spot. You're up by 3 runs, just keep your swing simple.
R started this inning with a double after Kunze flew out on a great play by Barbera that's looming even larger right now. Then it was Wiltsey with a single off the wall, so now Wiltsey leaning off first. The throw goes to third, and now Wiltsey is able to get up to second. So, well, you called that one about a hitter ago. But you saw Davis with the snap throw to third there. Again, this is not a catcher you want to mess with back there. But Wiltsey does get the stolen base. So second and third now. And Romelis with the 1-2 count. Poked foul left side. Sidlowski awaits on deck. That's grounded just wide at first. Oh, if that was a couple more feet toward the left, this would be an 8-3 Marist lead right now. So the winner to the winner's bracket final. The loser will play TBA, either Fairfield or Quinnipiac. That will be the next game, an elimination contest. The 1-2 in the dirt, and Davis is able to smother it. Did not get far enough away for the runners to advance. And, no surprise here, Lily Romelis is working a count. And Romelis tapped that one. Emily Heath walked into a tough position coming into this game, especially after having pitched 6 stressful innings in Game 1. She's held the Red Foxes off the board to this point. 2-2. Grounded up the middle. That's snagged by Heath. She'll underhand it to first for the final out. So the Red Foxes get some traffic, but ultimately a 0 in the bottom of the 5th. And after 5, it is Marist 6, Sacred Heart 3. Lots of fans here at Gartland Field, taking in this one as the final game of the day heads to the top of the sixth, with Marist leading Sacred Heart by a count of 6-3. I'm Mike Ferraro, along with Caroline Barada, as Haley R. has re-entered the game at shortstop after Marissa Scarano pinch ran for her. Ava Metzger has done a terrific job in relief of Anna Sidlowski, as after a chaotic first 3 innings, well, the umpires are having a discussion here. Again, the sun has gone on the other side of the mountain here. And the question is now, have we seen our last pitch of the day? And right now, it appears as if the answer is not yet. 9-1-2 in the Sacred Heart lineup due up. So it's Brown, LaCrone, and Bender. Brown walked and scored in the second. She flew out to Geiser and left in the third. The 5-person infield is in effect, and the count is 1-0. So we've seen Joe Assanio and Coach Russo at Iona do this. There's the look at it. It's Sam Rogers coming in, playing second base and awfully close to the pitcher's circle. Wiltsey almost playing shortstop here, or the shortstop playing near third base. And Metzger evens the count at 1-1. Sienna Kunze, meanwhile, also playing up at third.
As a hitter, it's probably got to be a little tough mentally, just knowing that right field is wide open.
And Pusey not even playing in center, more in short left center. Ground ball, that's to R at short, and the shortstop throws her out 6-3. So here comes LaCrone, who was retired for the first time in the championship in her last at bat, and more importantly from the Marist perspective right now, she's hitting with nobody on base. LaCrone 2 for 3 in this one after going 4 for 4 against Quinnipiac to get the Pios to this point. And that one's fouled straight back. Sacred Heart, second year in the MAAC, and that win over Quinnipiac was the first win in the MAAC championship for Sacred Heart. Last year, you may remember, Sacred Heart was the 8th seed, and they played Canisius in a 1-0 game, one of several 1-0 games we saw in last year's championship. I think those left in are maybe never coming back the way this one's going, as LaCrone flies that one into center. Pusey's there, 2 away in the top of the 6th.
And just like that, Metzger induces another fly ball out.
The stylistic difference in the Marist pitchers, Metzger and Stella Blanchard are a little bit more like each other than either is like Sidlowski, who just generates a ton of ground balls. As Sierra Bender fouls that one back. Speaking of Stella Blanchard, she is now working her way in from the Marist bullpen. Sidlowski, obviously this one was not her best performance, but she had done so well coming down the stretch. Marist does not get the #1 seed in the MAAC championship without her, and it was a tough start to the season. Again, Marist has had to use different combinations with infield defense. Sidlowski, drop ball pitcher, so dependent on that. But it all clicked in April, and she was phenomenal last month. And that's why Marist was able to get the 1 seed, largely because all 3 of those top pitchers were outstanding. Sidlowski did not lose a game against a MAAC opponent this year.
No, and her bat's starting to click too. She started this Marist rally in the 3rd inning.
And Sidlowski has pitched game 3 of series. She's pitched in relief, a number of different roles, and she's done well in a lot of them. Is now Metzger with the 2-2 count against Sierra Bender. Here comes the 2-2 off the corner. Should Bender reach Ella Stoops, who's been a tough out in this whole championship and over the course of the last several weeks as well, is on deck. Called strike 3. And Metzger screams and leaps as she comes off the mound. A 1-2-3 top of the 6th for Ava Metzger. We go to the bottom of the 6th with Marist holding a 6-3 lead. Back to Gartland Field. Mike Ferraro, Caroline Parada, bottom of the 6th. 8-9-1 in the Marist lineup due up. Anna Sidlowski, Annabelle Geiser, and Peyton Pusey against Emily Heath. As Caroline, both of these pitchers who have come out of the bullpen, Heath and Ava Metzger, have really settled in here.
They really have. They've kept each team scoreless for almost about 3 innings straight.
And Caroline, as you look back at this game, how crucial was Sidlowski's blast to start the 3rd inning?
It really was crucial. She started that Red Fox rally, and since then, they haven't looked back, honestly.
I think that when you look back at this game as currently constituted, unless there's another major plot twist that comes, to this point in the game, that has been the single biggest at-bat that has shifted momentum. Ground ball there, fielded by Stoops. Nice play going to her left. Fires across for the first out. Now here's Annabelle Geiser. Geiser's known for working counts, but with the amount of daylight left, if she swings at the first one, well, she tries to bunt, brings it back at strike 1. Yeah, I went there. Strike 2. Geiser walked in the 3rd inning on 4 pitches after Sidlowski's homer, and then on the ground ball to Hankey, beat that one out for a hit in the 4th. So she has not been retired today, but Heath ahead in the count 0-2, and that one's fouled away left side. Ball meet rock pile. Annabelle Geiser leads the Red Foxes in on-base percentage and walks. That walk that she had in the 3rd inning, her 32nd of the season, as that one misses away. In a lineup that you see a lot of aggressive hitters and have really over the course of time, Caroline. I mean, you played 5 years for Joe Osanio. You know what the MO is. Geiser is someone that she will work counts and she will wear down pitchers. And just like that, she turns 0-2 into 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad trait to have as a 9-hole hitter. Like I said, she does a great job of turning the lineup over to Pusey, and if she's on base, it's even better for Pusey.
She understands her role. It all comes together. That one is tap foul, and that may have been off her foot. Here's your look at Heath. She entered this game in the 3rd inning. Geiser slaps that one left side, and it's just foul. We'll turn it back over to the top of the lineup, and Pusey next. So far today, we've seen Iona win 2 games, finishing the suspended game from yesterday and then defeating Fairfield. Quinnipiac fell to Sacred Heart, but then kept its season alive by defeating Siena. The Saints, the first team eliminated from the championship. That's a chopper to second. This will be a tough play. Geiser is safe at first with another infield single. Anytime she hits a high chopper, she has a chance to beat it, and she did it again.
And listen, Geiser she's a freshman, but she's learned how to hit on this field. This field can be a little bouncy at times, and she's learned to get that high hop and get it in the air for that long enough for her to beat it out.
And again, you put the second baseman Bender in a difficult position there, right? If you charge, maybe you don't get the hop that you want, but if you stay back, you have that kind of speed as that one's lowering in, and Peyton Pusey showing off some dance moves there that you didn't want us to see, as the count is now 1-0. She would just prefer to swing the bat there. Geiser the runner at first. The last 2 times she's gotten to first, Pusey has hit into a fielder's choice. Pusey also had the bunt single to start this one. 2-0. 3-0.
Having Annabelle Geiser in the 9-hole too, and having her get on first base as much as she does, it almost takes away the leadoff aspect for Pusey. You're only a leadoff one time in the game, really.
And in that sense, as the 3-0 pitch misses away for ball 4, now the Red Foxes have first and second with one out. You like the tone that she sets in the bottom of the first. But as you go on and the lineup turns over, you'll see Geiser later in her career being at the top of this lineup permanently, I would think. But right now, Joe Asanio, I think, has found a groove with this lineup. Mannery hitting in the 2-hole was something that's developed over the last couple of weeks, and that one bounces. Davis did a nice job to keep that one in front of her. Mannery is officially 0 for 2 in this game. Sacrifice bunt in the first, strikeout in the third, ground out in the fourth. Mannery from Simi Valley, California. That's grounded to short. Geiser has to hop over, throw by Henke, and Mannery is retired at first, but the runners move up. Geiser to third, Pusey to second. And here comes Haley R. So it'll be interesting to see how the Payos approach R with first base open. But again, you talk about the protection, Sienna Kunze on deck. R right low. That's into center for a base hit. Here comes Geiser. Here comes Pusey. It's a 2-run single for Haley R. And the Red Foxes lead 8-3.
That's a great piece of hitting by R. She lines that one right back up the middle, right into center field, and it allows both of the speedsters to score.
The all-time leader in RBIs at Marist now has 3 in this one, and Marist with the 8-3 lead. Here's Kunze. She takes a strike on the outside corner. Olivia Wiltsey is on deck. Count now 1-1, and Caroline, we talk about darkness and everything else. If Kunze reaches, there is the opportunity to do some math here. As that one misses low. Marist now with a 5-run lead, R with 3 RBIs in this one. Kunze ahead in the count 2-1 with darkness approaching quickly. And the count's now 3-1. Kunze had the single to left in the third. That's what put Marist ahead. 3-1 count. Called strike.
She also had that ball hit out to right field that Barbera made a great play on.
Yeah, that was her last time up. So Kunze 1 for 3. And Caroline, that's a great point. I should put a star by that play, and I just did. Terrific defensive play. Payoff pitch. That's grounded left side. That's fielded by Stoops. Throw over. And Lacrone held the bag. A nice stretch as Kunze is retired 5-3 to end the 6th. But Marist gets 2, and after 6, the Red Foxes lead by a count of 8-3. To the top of the 7th we go as the Red Foxes leading 8-3, the number 1 seed against 4th-seeded Sacred Heart, as now Pam London and Joe Asanio are talking to the home plate umpire Brandon Hibbler. Joe Asanio has his lineup card out, and it looks like the Red Foxes are going to make some defensive replacements here as Annabelle Geiser is going from left field to first base. McKenna Manley is in the game now in left field. It looks like Romelis is out of the game as of now. Joe Asanio really likes Geyser's defensive ability at first base, her ability to pounce on plays, but also, too, she's had some athletic stretches at first as well.
Yeah, and I mean, she's had some great catches in foul territory, too. I mean, you're putting an outfielder out there that is used to playing the outfield, and she's at first making those great plays over there.
So Manley and Geyser, who have played travel ball together, Geyser is the one who switches positions Manley into the game in left. And now it's the 3-4-5 part of the Sacred Heart lineup, starting with Ella Stoops, who takes strike one. Stoops has a couple of hits in this one. She contributed to that 3-run third for Sacred Heart, but the Red Foxes have shut the door ever since then. Ava Metzger has been terrific in relief. And Stoops sends that one foul. Metzger ahead in the count 0-2. One of the last times I saw a game suspended by darkness, that was Marist at Siena last year. Marist ended last year 48-9-1. That was the one. Joe Asanio wanted that one. I think you've heard that sound come from the dugout once or twice, Caroline, right?
Just a few times.
Caroline Barada played 5 years here at Marist, coached for Joe Asanio for 2, won a MAAC championship as an assistant in 2023. Here comes the 1-2. That's up and away.
Yeah, and Joe Asanio this year, he's done a great job with this young team. He's really had to coach them through a lot of things that he might not have had to do that last year with a more experienced team.
Caroline, you and I have seen a lot of Marist softball over the course of the last couple years. Called strike 3, and Stoops is down for the first out in the top of the 7th. You can make the argument that this may be Joe Asanio's best coaching job, as we see Metzger's reaction for strike 3.
Yeah, and as you said, he's had to make some, even in this inning, he's made some defensive changes just for the last 3 outs of this game.
This team is imperfect. There have been some flaws over the course of the season. There have been young players to work in the lineup. Players have slumped. Players have grown. But Joe Asanio, you talk about having the finger on the pulse, making the right moves with the right players at the right time, moving around the lineup, and managing this pitching staff as well. As that one by Davis is looped and caught by R for the second out. So the Pioneers now down to their final out, and it's Barbera, who doubled her last time out and had the defensive play of the day with that catch against Kunze in right field. You know, Metzger has battled back from some major injuries in her career. Stella Blanchard, who we had not seen in this game, battling back from an arm injury. Joe Asanio has not wanted to overuse either pitcher. So you work them in, you give Sidlowski work. Find some time for Kaylee DeChickas, for Emma Bayer as well.
And I think he's done a great job, especially with these 3-game series thrown at you every weekend. He's done a great job juggling those pitchers.
Here's the 1-0 to Barbera, and that's pop foul. So we also mentioned, too, just to close the lid on this one, the tie game Marist played in last year. Siena and Marist were tied at 3 going into the 8th inning last year in April. And the thought at that point, it was about as light then as it is now here. You're thinking, oh my gosh, I hope that ball doesn't get hit over an outfielder's head, and it causes you to lose the game. But the other thing is you had to see what Maddie Pleasance was throwing in that game too. That skied into right. Rogers is back. She makes the catch. The Red Foxes beat the Pioneers in darkness as they win this one 8-3, and Marist is on to the winner's bracket final, where Marist will face Iona tomorrow. And the Red Foxes bounce back after a rough start to this one, Caroline.
Yeah, you know, Marist figured it out after the, second inning here. They got their bats. They started to hit. Metzger came in and shut the door.
So we take a look at the bracket. Quinnipiac and Fairfield, they have first tomorrow. Iona and Marist have next, and then the elimination games. If we get 4 games in tomorrow, we are caught up through 3 days. As there you go, you see Iona and Marist, the winner's bracket final, the 3rd-seeded Gales. They won 2 games today to get to this point, and they looked really impressive in doing so. And Marist comes back after a rough top of the second as they win this one by count of 8-3. The Red Foxes have now won 15 in a row.
And you know what was also really important in that game, Mike? Marist didn't make any errors behind their pitchers.
It was just one rough top of the second. But again, they played clean defensively as Joe Asanio now has gone over to Will Rosen. William, take this one away.
Here with Coach Joe Asanio. Coach, congratulations on the victory and your advancement. How were you able to pull out in front today?
Well, you know what? I mean, the kids, I give all the credit to the kids. You know, they made great adjustments there. You know, we didn't look good in the first couple of innings, but you know what? They made some really good adjustments on their starter. And then, you know, we got a couple of big runs late to kind of seal the deal. So couldn't be more proud of that effort. You know, we've done a lot of and, you know, a lot of waiting around to play, and I think it was great to get there and get the job done.
Sidlowski, she started the game in the circle, and then she hit that home run that really kind of unlocked the offense. What did you see from her today?
Listen, you know, Anna's had, you know, some struggle here. Couldn't be more proud of her because at the end of the year she came on so strong, not only offensively but with the bat. You know, she's been taking batting practice every day, and I knew her time was going to come, and you know, she stepped up and she took advantage of her opportunity.
The message to your team on to the next.
Good. I own a team that we're going to have to try to get past, and looking forward to that matchup. But this year,
Coach, good luck as you continue your journey.
Great, thank you.
We'll bring in Haley R, our of the game. Haley, what a day you had. You had 3 hits. You had 3 ribbies, excuse me, 2 hits, and a double. What was working for you offensively?
I honestly just want these younger girls to feel a championship so bad. So every time I step into that box, I'm like, okay, I got to do what I can. We're going to keep it simple, going back up the middle with it, and that's all I want to do.
Right now, you hold the record for most RBIs in Marist history. What does that mean to you?
Honestly, it's just a testament to my teammates. They're getting on. I'm trying to get them in. So,
as you move on, what's your message to these guys as you want to finish out your career here?
I just want them to stay hungry. They're all hungry right now. They've been thinking about this moment all season, and it's finally here. And you know, I think they're just going to get the job done. We're just going to keep going.
You're hungry. Go eat right now as you slap that down. Thank you, Haley. Watch over here.
And here they come. Go welcome Haley R. Marist advances. And they did it before it got too dark to play softball. What a day for Haley R. What a day for the Red Foxes. What a day of softball here at Gartland Field. For Caroline Barada, I'm Mike Ferraro. Marist wins this one 8-3. All games airing on ESPN+. They are archived on ESPN. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you again tomorrow from Gartland Field. Good night, everyone.